with the jerseys. So how about that? 888-710-4ISN is the phone number. Let's get off the basketball court and back onto the foot field, where I'm telling you the Bears are a problem. And I was wrong. There were a few teams. I feel like I did pretty good with my predictions about halfway through this NFL season. The teams that we thought were going to suck definitely do. The teams thought were going to be good. The Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bengals, not so much. So we missed a few of them. I thought the Colts were going to be terrible. I was dead wrong about that. So far, probably been the best team in all of football. And I said that the Bears were a year away. Because here was my rationale heading into this season. I feel like I need to throw out excuses and then tell you how I feel about the Bears right now. At the beginning of the year, I looked at a team that had Caleb Williams, that as far as rookies went, he wasn't as good as Jaden Daniels. He wasn't as good as Nix. He probably wasn't even as good as Drake May last year for the time they were all on the field. And so I think Bears fans like me had a little bit of hesitation that were wondering, okay, was this guy the right pick at number one? Did he develop enough? On top of that, you're bringing in head coach number 3 because you fired Eberflus, you bring in interim, and then you eventually hire Ben Johnson. So year number 2, coach number 3 has never been good for any quarterback ever. If you think about the reason why Lamar's had so much success is because he's always had the same coach. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes, same thing with Josh Allen, same thing with Jalen Hurts. All these dudes at quarterback have basically gotten a chance to play with the same guy. And then you've got Caleb Williams, who, coordinator number 4, coach number 3, and year number 2. So I thought, all right, not only all that I just said, but on top of that, you play in a division which features the Minnesota Vikings, who even if they take a step back, and we all knew they were going to, they did win, 14 regular season games last year. And you look up now, they're 4-4 and beating teams that they shouldn't. That's not a bad football team at all. I thought, especially after Green Bay made the move at the end of summer to acquire Parsons, okay, they might have just taken themselves over the top in the division and in the entire NFC. As long as Jordan Love takes the next step, then there's no reason that Green Bay doesn't go all the way to the Super Bowl this year, with kind of disrespecting a Lions team that has one of the most disrespected, under-talked about quarterbacks in Jared Goff, who won 15 regular season games last year. So I thought that was a bigger problem for the Bears. Not so much with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, but everything they were going to have to deal with in this division. And now that we're halfway through the year, Bears fan, I know you're listening to me right now on 670 The Score. Can your team win the division? Or is that just crazy? Now am I getting a little bit excited? Because I'm looking at the standings, and Minnesota's 4-4. But ultimately, if you look at J.J. McCarthy's numbers, they're kind of winning with smoke and mirrors. They beat the Bears that week 1 game, which took a crazy fourth quarter back. If they just would have lost that game, they'd
Sergachev, which is one of the stories of the NHL season, those two coalescing. Nate Schmidt and John Marino, another big offseason acquisition. Ali Mata and Ian Cole. Vitek Vanacek getting the start ahead of Carl Vejmelka.
Jack McBain's a Toronto guy. I would just keep an eye on him.
Former Olympian, too, right?
I think that was right. I was just looking up how I knew him so much. But a Toronto guy, could see him scoring tonight, too. Brandon Tanev's on this team, right?
Yeah, mentioned him.
Too bad.
Wanted the Tanev brothers together, but
it's too bad.
He sprung for a 4-year deal, I think, with Utah.
It's too bad that he's not. Brother's not playing tonight. Okay, we're in this weird holding period because I will get you a key to victory in a moment. But we are waiting to get sent to the John Tavares ceremony, so we will make this quick so that we are ready to
beat division. They lose a game like they did at the crib last Sunday to Carolina. They were the second biggest favorite on the betting board on Sunday, almost a 10-point. I think it went off at 9.5. And look, Carolina deserves a little bit of respect because they haven't been over 500 since the John Quincy Adams administration. Infinity Sports and Network they've gotten off to a good start this year, right? Fans, I hope you enjoyed being 500 because that's not going to happen. They went out there and then they down back to 4-4. I came on the Infinity Sports Network. So I don't know which side of this I'm supposed to take. Fans, I hope you enjoyed being 500 because that's not going to happen. I'm sorry, and the Panthers are actually kind of good. The Packers are maybe not kind of as good. So I don't know which side of this I'm supposed to take. They were. The Panthers are actually kind of good. Or the Panthers, I'm sorry, the Panthers are actually kind of good. Or the Packers are maybe not kind of as good. Or do you still think that you're a year or two away and ultimately the cream's going to rise to the top and it's going to be Detroit now, or it's going to be Green Bay because the division. Twist my arm. I'm looking at their schedule. The Bears coming up this Sunday, they're going to win. They're in Chicago against the Giants. That should get them to 6-3. Why are the Bears only a 4.5-point favorite in that game? If these teams were stocks, I think we'd all want a little bit of money invested in the Bears. We'd all pull our money from the Giants. The Giants blew it. That game where they had the lead a couple weeks ago in Denver, and then they end up losing, that cost them everything. The good feeling, they would have gone 3-4. Jackson Dart would have been 3-1. Brian Dable probably would have felt good about his job at that point. Hell, they could have considered themselves a fringe playoff team in the NFC when they were 3-4, or if they would have ever been 3-4, but they never got that third win. They lost. Now you look up, they're 2-7. They're 0-5 away from home. Talk about the Giants. Jackson Dart, as good as he's been, a bit of a figment of our imagination. The numbers individually are quite as good as you probably think they are. He's averaging
And he's playing his 1,000th game. And we will send it to the 500-goal celebration for John Tavares at Scotiabank Arena.
2009, it didn't take long for John to be productive, scoring the first of his 500 goals in his NHL debut. He's also the fourth player all-time to accrue 500 points with two different teams, along with Ron Francis, Mark Messier, and Wayne Gretzky. Tonight, we honor John's incredible scoring milestone, which he achieved as a member of your Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wilson after it. Goalies. Backhand shot score. John Tavares has his first NHL goal. Gets through to John Tavares. Into the middle. He shoots. He scores. First as a Maple Leaf. Tavares in. Shoots. Scores. 400 for John Tavares. John Tavares has scored. John Tavares, his 40th of the year. Slow to get up and they score. Tavares, his 11th career hat trick. Tavares shoots. Scores. John Tavares again. And the Leafs have grabbed the lead. Here's Tavares cutting in. Scores. It's a game winner. John Tavares. There's a chance for John Tavares, the 49th player in NHL history to reach 500 goals.
Please welcome from Oakville, Ontario, number 91, 500 goal scorer, John Tavares. Joining John, please welcome his parents, Barbara and Joe, John's wife, Erin, and their children, Jace, Axton, and Ray. Presenting a commemorative golden stick to John in recognition of this remarkable milestone is General Manager Brad Treliving. The golden stick features custom etching highlighting this achievement. In recognition of his achievement, the Maple Leafs are donating $10,000.
That our flag was still night to celebrate the Tavares 500, a Mammoth milestone. Toronto welcomes Utah at Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey on Sportsnet. Utah could become the first team in the NHL to hit 10 wins after an overtime victory yesterday in Buffalo. Vitek Vanacek gets his fourth start. He's allowed 2 goals in each of his first 3 games. And after a maintenance day yesterday, Anthony Stolarz is back in goal looking for a 4th consecutive win. He stopped 65 of the last 70 shots he's faced. Mentioned that overtime win last night in Buffalo. The game winner off the stick of Clayton Keller, the Mammoth captain, has led his team in goals, assists, and points over the last 3 years, and he'll face a former teammate tonight, Matias Michelli, back in the league lineup after being a healthy scratch Monday. 3 points in his last 4. Craig Berube says he's capable of more. Starting lineups are brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. So it's Nick Waugh along with Dakota Joshua. There is Michelli. His pass gets by McCabe, almost a 2-on-1, potentially that. As Keller puts it in front of the net and swept away by McCabe after that puck went off the linesman and gave Utah an early chance. Big hit, Dakota Joshua with a belt that has Keller kind of collecting himself at the end of a shift. Leafs looking for a better start. They've given up the first goal in 6 straight. They have trailed in 8 consecutive games. Sergachev across, one-timer, easy pickings for Stolarz. Keys to a W brought to you by J.P. Weiser's, the perfect Canadian whiskey for game night.
Well, you mentioned the Mammoth on back-to-back nights. You got to support your goaltender. The backup is always the tough role of getting that second one. And you heard Jake McCabe talk at the start of this game about just playing this first period like they did the third the other night. A tough start, but a wonderful finish, and that's the kind of effort that Craig Berube was looking for. You had to think that it was a bit of a gut check time after 2 bad periods, especially that second. Only 3 shots on goal. Berube said that they had the puck the whole time. We couldn't get it, so look for a fast start from his Toronto Maple Leafs here on home ice.
Almost felt like they bottomed out in the first 40 minutes. How many teams played that poorly and end up getting a win at the end of the night?
Not often you score 4 in the third. They came out with a real purpose, led by the man taking the face-off, Austin Matthews, with that first goal, got things going.
Matthews has goals in 2. He's been +3 in each of the last 2 games. A lead feed for Matthews off the stick of Gunther. Matthew Nyes got it back, and here's Matthews from the corner. He'll cycle it around to Nyes on a 5-game point streak. That pass picked off by Peterka. Back come the quick Utah Mammoth, pulling through, and it's knocked off the stick of Gunther by Brandon Carlo. Across it goes. Nate Schmidt's shot bounces to the side of the net. Here's Logan Cooley. Back and a shot on goal from Nate Schmidt, and out comes Nyes, knocked off his stick by Marino. Leafs in front of their bench, looking for a change.
This would be an interesting matchup game. As even Craig Berube said this morning, you know, this Mammoth team, those top 2 lines are dangerous. They've got scorers on the flanks. They've got real creative guys, and it'd be interesting to see if the bottom 6 of either of these teams have an influence in this game.
There's Dakota Mermis with a touch. The puck up onto the netting, and Mermis in as a late add with the absence of Simone Benoit, they tell us, under the weather.
Well, you think of the impact of not only Chris Tanev, great shot blocker, good defender, Benoit, real physical guy and can block those shots as well. This is a task here for Mermis. Will sort of chart. He and Myers have played together before. His one game played just over 13 minutes earlier in this year. He was -2 on that night. Maybe settle in here with game number 2.
And the Leafs without Chris Tanev, brother Brandon on the ice. Brandon Tanev on the 4th line for Utah. A free agent signing by the Mammoth as he skates back towards his own blue line. Gets the pass back and looks rink wide. That goes off the stick of Nick Robertson. and out of play.
Well, you look at the start here for Andre Tournier, and he said coming in as a coach, you look at your schedule and you go 11 games in the first 20 days, 7 of them on the road. And so you go, your team has to be detailed in their game, and he really felt that this group has come together very quickly. They've been able to score, Chris, but they've also been a much better defensive team. And when you go 8-3 in those first 11 games, it gives you that confidence to try to carry on through.
They have the 6th most shots on goal and their 2nd best in shots against. So they are playing well at the moment, but here's Max Domi at backhand, and the first stop for Vanacek with Scott Lawton on the ice for the first time this season. Lawton injured in the final preseason game after a terrific preseason. And a shot block off the foot hobbled him, and here's Lorentz back in the lineup as well. He was shaken up last Wednesday with a bad tumble into the end boards against Columbus.
You had some real competition from forwards here with the Leafs, with guys getting healthy again.
Schmaltz drops. Here's Keller following. Put it in front. That pass picked off. And a lead feed. Sends away Nylander. William Nylander in. And he whipped that just wide. Nylander coming off another 3-point game. 18 points on the year. And he has points in each of his last 7. He's got it again. The key contributor in the comeback win against Pittsburgh. And Matthews with a shot. Steered away by Vanacek in deep. That bounces over the stick of Nylander. And now the Leafs will retreat on a change after a dangerous shift.
Yeah, that's where that line can be so dangerous on the transition. And when you're playing against that Keller line, they'll try some risky plays. This Mammoth team leads the NHL in giveaways a game with 18.8 per game. They almost got capitalized on that one.
Nick Waugh along the boards. It's kept in at the line. Rink wide it goes to J.J. Peterka, puts it right on. Peterka heard some boos last night in his first return to Buffalo. They didn't even give him a video tribute, which I know you're not too concerned about it. I don't think he is either. Here's Nick Waugh. Deep into Utah ice. Waugh battling behind the net. Getting some help from Joshua. It comes loose from Michelli. He'll play it back to Philip Myers. Myers incoming, and Vanacek turns that away. Myers dashes back, 3rd pairing. Be interesting to see how much Craig Berube relies on his top 4 tonight in the absence of Benoit.
Well, first 5 minutes, that's their 3rd shift together here already. So it's been 1, 2, 3 to this point anyway.
Now Tavares will one-hand it in. Here's Dmitry Simashev. They're high on him in Utah. Simashev, the number 6 pick in 2023, paired with Mikhail Sergachev. Nick Robertson's got it. Pass up on the tape for Bobby McMahon. He'll swoop in against Sergachev. Around it goes to Tavares. Got tied up there with the referee, and Kyler Yamamoto turns back. Kevin Stenlund in the middle. He'll get it back from Tanev. Stenlund in, and Stolarz has got that.
There's first real chance there for the Utah Mammoth, but William Nylander, who's been better when he's been in the lineup. Quick little outlet pass from his knees as Matthew Nyes, and this is what Nylander can do so well, that quick cut back. He uses
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/aware. Terms apply.
Notre Dame's defense, and now it's like it's not Notre Dame's defense, it's actually how good Texas A&M's offense is. I just think that this is a different Indiana team. Maybe I'm a biased man because they really took my Ducks, and I was so locked in on that game, but they've got playmakers on the defensive line that can't be blocked. They've got special linebackers. The Surratt kid is fantastic on the outside at wide receiver. And when you have a quarterback like Mendoza that is dicing up teams right now, it's hard to bet against Indiana. Will they get all the way there and win? I don't know necessarily. But right now, full body of work, I think that's the way I lean.
Do you think
to my right, or if you look over there,
beside you,
I hit there, and Lawton got elbowed in the center ice area and was looking for a little payback.
Yeah, that was Ian Cole.
Yeah, plowed out at center and shot into the Toronto zone. Stolars punches it back on the wall, and it'll clear and get out at center ice, and Domi is in full pursuit of Olimata. Now here's Lawton stealing the puck, centering pass in front of the goal. What a chance Lorenz has, and he sent it just wide of the far post. Domi working on this corner and can't come up with it. I like the makeup of this line.
Well, you remember Lawton and Lorenz had pretty interesting chemistry in preseason, especially a game in Montreal where they were dominant.
And then a shot here blocked by Stolars. Then Lawton forgot how early it was in the season and blocked a shot he probably shouldn't have, and has been out ever since. Back of the net, Dakota Joshua up against the boards. Michelli knocked it free, couldn't get it in front, now has it in front of the goal, and a shot by Riley went just wide. Far side for Brandon Carlo. Back of the net again. Joshua for Roy. Roy plays it back into the corner, and the battle ensues with Nate Schmidt. It comes back to the point, just kept in by the Leafs, but then quickly brought to center ice by Gunther, and then across the line, only to have it taken away by Michelli. Michelli to Riley. Riley to center. Robertson was offside. Riley made an extra move, and Nick Robertson couldn't hold the line for him. And play whistle dead. 12:13 to go, scoreless thus far. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You're driving. They're honking. You're driving. They're screaming. You're driving. Change your mood. With SiriusXM Comedy, they're honking. You're laughing. From the newest Netflix specials to the kings of Southern comedy, Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy. From uncensored Kevin Hart to clean comedy to quiet them kids, SiriusXM Comedy has it all. Channel 93 to 99 on your SiriusXM radio and on the SiriusXM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. the biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Radio Network.
12:13 to play in period number 1. There is no score. Leafs have probably had the best scoring chance when Lorenz sent it just wide. And the Mammoth have outshot the Leafs 5-3.
Yeah, a little more jump offensively. Still want to start to tighten up in your own zone, not give up many opportunities off the rush. The Leafs have only had 2 games this year where they've given up 2 goals in a game. Everything else has been 3 and up, and that was not the case a year ago.
Played into the center ice area. Riley at his own blue line, got it ahead. McMahon deflects it down into Mammoth territory. And it'll be played around the boards to the near wing, but not out. Pass in front of the net. Tavares! Rang it off the goal post. Another shot goes wide of the Mammoth goal. Tavares with it again, looking for goal 501. And a nice ceremony prior to the game, celebrating a tremendous career for John Tavares, both in Toronto and on Long Island. Back at the net, Nate Schmidt. A long lead pass ahead at center for Yamamoto. Gets in on the right side. Here is a chance for Stenlund. Works it to the side of the Leaf goal, but Tavares is back there, playing it to himself, and then playing a pass up the middle, looking for Bobby McMahon that didn't work. Mammoth didn't wait long enough to get players out from the offensive zone, and it is offside. John Tavares, 500 goals, 228 of them in Toronto, 17 more in the playoffs, 7 overtime goals in regular season, and 1 overtime goal in the playoffs for the Maple Leafs, and I botched both of them. The overtime goal.
John Tavares, I know you said you talked to him before the game, and the one in Columbus when the Leafs were down, 6-1?
Yeah.
The third period. Johnny Toronto didn't celebrate that much either.
No.
Well, which was sad. You know, at least Easton Cowan's first in the NHL. An important one in a victory over Philadelphia.
Yeah. Near boards, Leafs in their own zone. Joshua got it back at the net, and it is played ahead at center ice. Getting his head up there was Roy as the bomb doors were open there for Lawson Krause, who was closing in on him. The puck goes into the corner. Myers tipping it along the wall. Roy trying to dig it free, and does on a pass in front of the net, looking for Michelli. Went off of a Mammoth player and went wide. Played out at center ice. Here's Utah in over the line. A long shot. Whistles wide of the net by Krause. And the Maple Leafs are back in their own zone. So if I say a Mammoth player, is he like an overly large kind of regular player, or just a Mammoth
every
player?
Mammoth goal a big goal?
Hadn't thought of that. Yeah. Utah back at, I like Hockey Club better. The Utah Hockey Club in over the line on the right wing side. A drop pass sent in then by Schmaltz. Intercepted, and the Maple Leafs start back with Nylander. Nylander, a little saucered pass looking for Jake McCabe, but it is offside. And Willie kind of got taken down a little bit there by Clayton Keller, and a faceoff will come outside the Utah zone after this timeout. There is no score, first period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Ugh, standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, everyone. Julie Stewart-Binks here, along with former NHLer Nate Thompson. Join us on Energy Line as we share our takes, stories, and surprise guests every week. Patrick Kane, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Team USA head coach Mike Sullivan. 6-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier.
With over 800 NHL games, I know a couple guys.
Biz didn't have Twitter. No one knew who he was, so I called Whit, and I'm like, how's Biz? He was like, I'm telling you right now, you're going to hate him. Then he'll be your best friend.
Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts,
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit ConnexOntario.ca. T&Cs apply.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
First period presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Face off outside the Mammoth blue line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it up on the wing. Rink wide for Domi, was knocked away, but he gets it back again. Launches it high towards the net, wide. In goes Lorenz after it. Lawton trying to poke it free. Lorenz does get to it. He gets it back to the point, just kept in. Good decision there by Jake McCabe not to go D to D. And the Leafs are able to get the puck back at the net with Domi. Domi looking for a man in front. Bank pass to the blue line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson with a shot that was deflected wide of the net. Puck on the far boards, and Cooley will get it off to Nate Schmidt. Schmidt starts out of his own zone. I like the Mammoth jerseys, though. Good big numbers, easy to identify. And I like the idea of the mascot. I think that's you're going to have a lot of fun with it, obviously. Here's Ekman-Larsson to center, just getting it in over the line. The Leafs get their forward compliment exchange. Around on the boards to the far side. It's going to be chipped out and down the ice, and a foot race for it. Fresh off the bench there was Brandon Carlo, but he couldn't get to the puck in time. Now into the near boards and along the wall. It is broken up, sent high in the air. Yeah, a bit of a stick there that may have come up and clipped. No, didn't clip anybody. It's just making contact with it. High stick will stop play. Face off. Carlo was kind of questioning whether it was going to be a penalty.
Well, since, remember, Travis Konechny took a double minor in Philadelphia in the first period on Saturday night. In the 5+ period since, the Leafs have taken 9 out of the 11 minors called in games.
Where is your idea how things even up?
I'm waiting.
Draw one, Sergachev at the point with a shot. That bounced just wide, and then it bounced over the stick. Now Sergachev wires one high over top of the net, and the Maple Leafs are going to get it to the line, but a bad pass by Carlo. Now he is able to make up for it by taking it down into the corner against the Utah player. That battle continues, and Nyes pokes the puck free, and now an alley-oop pass, and Matthews trying to catch up to it along the goal line. Centering pass hit a skate. Matthews comes away with it again. Around back of the net, just out of the reach of Nyes. Nyes gets an angle on the puck in the corner. Was able to secure it momentarily, but he was outmatched there. Now Matthews coming out and got a wrist shot away that was partially blocked, and it went wide. Nyes again in the corner, battles with Simashev, and it'll be backhanded off the glass high to center ice by Utah. No score first period. Played off the boards to center. And now right back in over the line come the Mammoth. They turn it over, and a break here for Tavares, but he's taken near the near boards, and then taken down on the play was the winger as the puck comes free, and now here's Bobby McMahon.
Boy, the Leafs are getting the penalty here.
Is it Tavares?
Yeah, tries with a stick lift and came up and clicked the Utah player. So 9 out of the last 11 becomes 10 out of the last 12 minors, and Craig Berube is not happy in the Leaf bench. We have to take a closer look at this. Oh, this is his own stick. Tavares lifts the stick of the Utah player, and his own stick came up and caught him. And that's why Berube's upset.
But the bottom line is the first power play goes to Utah. And is scrummed, but the Mammoth come away with it. Back to the blue line. It comes over on the near side for Schmaltz. Schmaltz down into the corner. Back to the point on the far side for Sergachev. Sergachev's pass goes off his stick. And Scotty Lawton getting his stick in the passing lane there, deflects that up into the screen and out of play.
That's something you're really hoping for from Scotty Lawton, improve the penalty kill. Power play for Utah, 8 for 43 coming into the game, 20th overall in the NHL. 0 for 7 in their last 3, but before that, when they had an impressive winning streak, they were 7 for 20 in a 6-game span.
Shot down the ice off a face-off win by Matthews, and the Mammoth are back in their own end. They had a great streak on the power play as they get it in over the line, and Gunther tries to play it into the corner. It'll be played back along the board. Schmaltz to the blue line. Sergachev far side. Good block by the Maple Leafs defenseman, and it is Brandon Carlo, and he also ices the puck.
He had some big blocks a couple of nights ago when the Leaf come from behind win against Pittsburgh.
He's a big body, that's for sure. Here's Nick Schmaltz in over the line, dropping now for Gunther, gets it back towards the blue line, running into a traffic jam, but carrying on is Schmaltz into the corner. Now Keller tried to get it in front, and he did, and that was stopped in the rebound. It's going to be pushed out at center ice, and it is Lawton skating it to the line and in. Lawton one-hands it around back of the net. Penalty is 37 seconds left in it. Second unit's coming over the boards for the Utah Mammoth. Yamamoto to the line, had it broken up and iced immediately there by Dakota Joshua. 18 seconds left in the first power play. Mammoth back in their own end, hit the red line to the blue line and in on the left wing. Starting in there's Carconi. He couldn't come up with it cleanly. The Leafs do, and they have a 2-on-1 break. Here's Lorenz in over the line. Lorenz, and toe drag move literally rolled off his stick and went harmlessly wide. Then there was a bit of a collision there with Vanacek.
Dakota Joshua went right into the net.
Nylander brings it in over the line. A drop pass and a shot by Tavares was kicked away by Vanacek. Penalty is over. Played back into Toronto territory, and Nylander sends it ahead for Tavares onto the left wing for Morgan Rielly. Rielly into the top of the circle, drops it in towards the net, cleared into the corner by the goalkeeper, and now here is the Mammoth getting it ahead on the left wing. Good play made there by Philip Myers to mirror the winger and knock it out at center ice. Leafs are changing, 4:18 to go in a scoreless first period. Lead pass. Knocked down into the zone. No icing. Stolarz plays it around on the wall, and Nylander is able to poke it out at center, but unable to break with it there was Nick Roy, and it just shot right back down into the Toronto end. Leafs bumbling with it a little bit here, but managed to get it freed up, and now out at center it comes. Here's Joshua in on the left wing, trying to drive, had it knocked into the corner by the defense. Back along the boards, a centering effort didn't connect. Joshua after it again against the end boards back of the goal. Had a man open but couldn't get it to Michelli, the former Mammoth, and now it's back to the point, kept in by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Round back of the net it goes. Leafs buzzing here, getting it back to the point. McCabe into the slot. Michelli in with a pass on the right wing and a shot. Whistles wide of the goal off the stick of Morgan Rielly. Leafs trying to center again, and it was Rielly going to the front of the net, and it just missed.
Leafs pressing, but none of these shots, Joe, actually make it to the net or Vanacek, forcing the goaltender to make a stop.
Brought on by the Mammoth to the blue line. A delayed offside negated as the Leafs get it out for Matthews. Flipped into the left wing corner. Nyes is interfered with as he tried to go to the net. Now comes back to the point. Leafs bank it off the boards past Nylander. Back of the goal, Nye centering it front. And Matthews got a shot away, but it went wide. Nylander on the far board, cycles it back around the wall, and the defense will pinch to try and keep it in. Successfully done so by Brandon Carlo. Far boards, and now back to the blue line and out at center ice. 2.5 minutes to play in the period, no score. Rolling puck in front of the net. Good defensive play made there by Dakota Mermis, who's into the game and into the lineup here tonight.
Simon Benoit not available this evening.
Mermis sends it high over top of everyone. Grabbed off by Ian Cole of the Mammoth, and a pass up on the left wing gets into the zone. Tanev trying to make a play, goes down into the corner with it. Spinning with it was Carcone, but he couldn't get it in front, and the Leafs are breaking. One man back. Here's McMahon working in over the line. He's got John Tavares with him, goes in, a goal! And the shot was kicked away by Vanacek. I think it was the right decision made, but now we've got a break up in a play at center ice and almost a 2-on-1 going the other way that got botched by the Mammoth as they put themselves offside.
This game's starting to open up, and I don't think either coach is going to be thrilled, but a turnover at the Leaf line leads to another rush.
Here the Leafs in over the line again. Drop pass for Riley. Sidesteps one, centers! Wrist shot by Domi went just wide.
He got a lot on that, didn't he?
Did he ever? Played back down into Toronto territory. Round back of the net, centering pass, they score! A turnover back of the net. And Michael Carcone has opened the scoring for the Mammoth.
Right after the Leafs get the great chance at one end that doesn't go. Brandon Carlo coming back into his own zone. Tries to go D to D, and the pass is knocked down, taken behind the net, and thrown out to the top of the crease. Bobby McMahon had a great opportunity off the rush as well. But it was a great keep-in. A great interception by Lawson Krause. Knocked down the Brandon Carlo pass attempt, took it right around behind the net, and then threw it out past Morgan Riley to the top of the crease. And Utah up 1-0. What's new? The Leafs trailing in a hockey game.
Ajax native Michael Carcone opens the scoring, and there's a shot that Stolarz had to fend off as it goes around back of the net. Schmaltz trying to center as it'll be broken up, and the Leafs start back. Nyes down the left wing. Finally sends it into the zone and into the far corner. Matthews into the forecheck. Nylander poked it to the side, but couldn't get it to Nyes, who was in front, and it's played out at center ice now by Utah. Right back in over the line. Final half minute to play in the period. Sergachev back in his own zone. Pass up on the left wing. Brought to the line, broken up at the blue line, chipped ahead by the Maple Leafs. Here is Dakota Joshua in over the line, sends it towards the front of the net, deflected out in front of the goal and went off the skate of Ian Cole. And now here the I was going to say the Utah Jazz, but it is not. And so now there is a horn that ends the period, and the Utah Mammoth will take a lead to the dressing room.
So 7th straight game that the Leafs have given up the opening goal of a hockey game. 8 out of 9 now that they've given up the first goal. And it now becomes the 9th consecutive game that the Leafs have trailed in a game. The last time the Leafs did not trail in a 60-minute game, it was actually more than 60 minutes, was their 2-1 overtime win against the New York Rangers here. Isn't that incredible?
It is.
And considering all
that, their record.
They're 2 games above 500.
Yeah. 18:49 is the time of the goal for Carcone, and Krause gets the lone assist. So the Leafs trail 1-0, and we'll step aside. Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan in the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Dodgers cement their dynasty.
The only thing harder than winning that title is defending it. 2 Tune to MLB Network Radio for up-to-the-minute coverage of baseball's hot stove season as teams take their first steps towards the 2026 World Series.
The hot stove is burning.
Every trade, every signing, live on-site coverage from baseball's winter meetings in Orlando. Hear it all on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A 1-0 lead for the Utah Mammoth after 20 minutes. We'll take a quick break and we'll get you set for more coverage here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Hey everyone, it's me, Megan Kelly. I've got some exciting news. I now have my very own channel on SiriusXM. It's called the Megan Kelly Channel, and it is where you will hear the truth, unfiltered, with no agenda and no apologies. Along with the Megan Kelly Show, you're going to hear from people like Mark Halprin, Link Lauren, Maureen Callahan, Emily Jashinsky, Jesse Kelly, Real Clear Politics, and many more. It's bold, no BS news, only on the Megan Kelly Channel, SiriusXM 111. And on the SiriusXM app.
Under review. And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong. Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group. And I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change. And we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour. What's the mental approach to get to the dance
every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mound. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of highway we haven't been able to cover, So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert with your intermissions. Tonight, it is the Leafs hosting the Mammoth. Down 1-0 after 20 minutes. Another first goal given up by the Maple Leafs. That is 7 straight games trailing to their opponent. I don't like that stat.
No, how could you like that stat? It's not a good stat, not a great stat. Don't like to hear that stat, but it was a better period for the Maple Leafs than we're accustomed to, at least in the first period. Maple Leafs played all right. Like, it was really just like a couple chances both sides, and one of them was better than most, and that was off the stick of Michael Carcone. We could definitely circle Brandon Carlo's role in that goal going in, though. Yes,
there were a few Brandon Carlo moments in that period, a couple giveaways when he's skating back into his own end to retrieve a puck. It is any guess to where that puck may go, and it went to a Utah Mammoth and then into Michael Carcone's stick, a former Marley, as you pointed out. I knew he was from Ajax or Toronto.
We could go through the web for Michael Carcone in a second, but let's hang on Carlo for a second.
Yes.
Because we know he's not fleet of foot, but, long, rangy defensemen normally aren't, and they just learn to make the right reads. And Carlo tried to go to the middle of the ice as opposed to the boards, and Lawson Krause picked it off, made a nice play, and got it to Carcone for the goal. So, yeah, it's just like a bunch of mistakes are made in hockey games, and the one made by Carlo was most impactful after 20 minutes.
Yep, and of course, it's a local kid getting a goal against the Leafs.
And a revenge spot, as you mentioned. Carcone, once a member of the Toronto Marlies, got traded to the Maple Leafs, never actually played a game for the Maple Leafs, but scored a lot for the Marlies, and then was traded in the Nikita Zaitsev deal.
Wow.
That sent Zaitsev to the Ottawa Senators many years ago. So he's a part of some Maple Leaf lore as Lou Lamoriello cleaned house.
All right. There's a couple local kids on this Utah Mammoth team. But yeah, you're right. It was a better period in terms of, I guess, energy from the Leafs. They didn't look like they were sluggish. They did have a delayed start with the very nice ceremony for John Tavares' 500th goal, and it wasn't that delayed. It was about 5 minutes. But I heard there's some major delays on the DVP as our friends and colleagues are getting into work here.
Oh, didn't have to call them out.
I didn't call anyone out, but I know there's some traffic, so maybe there's some traffic. You look at
a couple empty seats.
Empty seats. That's all. Anywho, let's take a break because we still got to do the out of town scoreboard and get to some more thoughts before the second period. Sound good? Great. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Okay. First question. When does Desjardins Insurance suggest you switch to winter tires?
Below 7 degrees. Easy.
Nice. Next, what's a smart way to save money on your home insurance?
Switch to Desjardins Insurance and you could save up to $900 when you bundle home and auto. Easy.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
With most Subaru models, all-wheel drive comes standard. Heated front seats, high ground clearance, Apple CarPlay, standard. EyeSight driver assist to help when you're distracted by fall foliage, standard. Guy announcing the radio ad now wanting a Subaru? Yeah, standard. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Hey, seriously, can I get one?
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Welcome aboard Air Canada.
Rocky's Vacation, here we come. Whoa, is this economy? Free beer, wine, and snacks. Sweet. Fast free Wi-Fi means I can make dinner reservations before we land. And with live TV, I'm not missing the game. It's kind of like I'm already on vacation. Nice.
Air Canada. Nice travels. Wi-Fi available to Aeroplan members on equipped flights. Sponsored by Bell. Conditions apply. See aircanada.com.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Eilish Forfar, Justin Cuthbert, end of one. It is 1-0 for the Utah Mammoth after 20 minutes. A goal by
It doesn't roll
Michael
off the tongue, does it?
I actually almost said Jazz as well. And I know that Bonesy mentioned that. Like Utah Mammoth. Your mouth is doing different things.
It might take a bit.
Utah Mammoth. Utah Jazz. That's easier.
First trip to Scotiabank Arena. First time, going through the process of
hard for everyone.
Calling Mammoth
Even
games.
Bonesy, who's done billions of games in his life. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary. Bet365, baby.
Okay, 5 games in the NHL tonight. Only 2 are ongoing, including the Mammoth and Maple Leafs. The Washington Capitals have a 1-0 lead over the St. Louis Blues. Alexander Ovechkin is in search of 900, but Tom Wilson has the goal, his 7th of the season. For the Capitals, still to come tonight, the Blue Jackets are in Calgary, tangle with the Flames. 1,000 games for Nazem Kadri tonight. Chicago Blackhawks and Vancouver Canucks meet, some old rivals, and Connor Bedard returning to Vancouver. And then the Sharks and Kraken, Backlund Celebrini in tow.
A lot of teal in that game.
Yeah, there is.
Scott Laughton's first game as a Maple Leaf this season. What did you think of it?
He's got a -1, which feels, not exactly apropos because I thought it was a good period from the passion line. Can we call him that?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I think we should.
Anyway, Scott Laughton, Max Domi, and Steven Lorentz are all local guys playing together on the 4th line for the Maple Leafs. That was the only shot attempt given up, was that goal from Michael Carcone. So they played pretty well. I thought they had a handful of good shifts in 2 minutes and 18 seconds together. But on the scoreboard, it reads a dash right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, as we mentioned quickly, we got about a minute here, but it was a better period for the Leafs. I did mention the stat that's another first goal given up, 7 straight games. Well, they haven't lost all 7 of those straight games. They've been able to find a way to come back. So that is another 40 minutes to do that for the Maple Leafs, and it's just 1-0. So I feel like it's totally attainable, and they look like a completely better version than the first period of the Penguins game. That's what I'm using as a measuring stick. Did it look as bad as the Penguins game? No. Okay. Moving up.
The hole is less deep because they actually played pretty respectably in that period. So easier to come back when the deficit is only 1 and they've got 40 minutes to work with here. Again, was it like shot out of a cannon, emotional third period against Pittsburgh? No, it doesn't have to be that clearly. But maybe a little unlucky to be down, but still want a little bit more in the final 40 minutes of the game.
All right, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call at the second period next. It's 1-0 for Utah after 20 minutes. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is Sirius XM NFL Radio.
This is Rich Gannon from the Sirius XM Blitz. Another busy trade deadline is now in the books, and we're reacting to the moves your favorite team made.
The coach did good. You're saying now we can now cover one side of the field with Sauce Gardner. He's that type of player.
And we're previewing all the big Week 10 matchups.
And it is A.J. Brown again! Another touchdown!
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
and the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs trail 1-0. Is it a little warm up here? I feel like I'm getting roasted.
Well, Joey, not yet. But we are roasting you a week from Friday.
Yeah, on the 14th.
And all the proceeds, and it's a great charity. All the proceeds go to Hockey Helps the Homeless, and it's what's the name of the website?
www.hockeywithheart.
Hockeywithheart.ca.
And it's a charitable arm of the Unionville Men's Hockey League that I played in for 40 years or whatever. Patty Esau, Johnny Esau's son, is the president of it, and Brad Fletcher and Brent Smith,
former Leaf trainer,
is organizing this. So tickets available. We hope that you come. And the headliner is Jesse Ralph.
Well, he's the MC.
Well, he's headlining.
No, I'm headlining.
Oh, you're the headliner. Oh. Point shot is swallowed up by Stolars right off the bat off this face. Sorry, I didn't see that in the fine print. Yeah, well, we're going to have some fun with it anyway. And the thing I'm most concerned about are my 4 sons getting up.
Yes.
That might turn it into a family feud of large proportion. Leafs don't get the puck out as it is swept in around back of the net. Chopped along the boards into the corner. Mammoth get it out in front, but no one there as it slides to the blue line. Just kept in. Fed high to the side of the goal. Back of the net, Schmaltz works to the left wing boards. Sends it back behind the net. Cut off there nicely by Jake McCabe, who got it ahead for Nyes. And now Nyes finds Nylander at center, and he can't handle the pass. The turnover is going to allow Utah back in on the wing, and a shot whistled by Peterka wide of the net. Leafs with a change, and it is Tavares in across the line, left wing side. Sends it into the goal crease area, but it was knocked back to the net. Tavares getting it freed up, but the Mammoth get numbers along the boards. Tavares is able to one-hand it along the wall, got it into the slot, and now back to the point. Robertson to the front of the net, but the shot went to the other side and was easily steered into the corner by Vanacek. Leafs now again with it back into the slot. Carlo! Whoa, he had a great scoring chance and missed the net. That's been the DNA of the Leafs here thus far tonight. Their best chances have not registered on shots on goal. Puck played up on the wing, and now Utah get it center only to have it stolen back. And Robertson trying to take advantage of the turnover. Couldn't wait, and the Leafs are offside at the blue line.
Well, the Leafs obviously better in the opening 20 minutes here than they were on Monday against the Pittsburgh Penguins. But now they've got another skeleton, Joe, that they've got to get ready. In the second period this year, the Leafs have been outscored 20-11. So this is not the time when you're trailing into the second period to lose another one and be forced to make another big comeback in the third period.
Errant pass is going to go down on goal and it'll be smothered by Stolarz as there was traffic arriving on the scene. So a face-off coming in the Toronto end of the rink. You're talking about the Utah power play. Their last 3 games, they were 0 for 7, but the previous 6, they were 7 of 20.
Yeah, had a pretty good role. Mikhail Sergachev has been outstanding for them, who at this point is the highest paid player. That'll change next year when Logan Cooley becomes number 1 in the payroll list for Utah.
Puck in the Toronto zone. Against the boards near the blue line. Batted at and cleared around back of the Toronto net. Stolarz plays on into the corner and Myers backhands it high and with a lot of effort it's gone down the ice. And an icing call comes as a result.
I think he was trying to bank it up in the air down the ice, but it was almost a rocket of a backhand, wasn't it? Hugged the glass.
Might hang on to that for a chance in front of the net, the other end of the rink.
Dave Keon would be proud of that.
Yes, 1-0 in favor of Utah, who have outshot the Leafs 10-7 thus far. They get the face-off win, but it is done incorrectly, so they will do it all over again. The referees tonight are Carter Sadlak and Pierre Lambert. Ryan Jackson and Johnny Murray are the linesmen. Face off to the right of Stolarz in the Toronto end. And Roy ties up his man to allow the puck to be freed, and it has bounced out at center ice. Joshua chasing after it far boards, freed it up there for the Maple Leafs, and now here's Michelli getting it in front of the goal, and it was blocked. Joshua after it again, back of the net. Michelli had it momentarily, but then now it comes off the side of the goal with a pass by the defenseman that almost turned into a major problem, but it is back out at center ice. You wonder what goes through their heads. Here's an idea. I'll just backhand it here towards our net, see how things work out. Got to be a guy there with the same colored jersey on. Played ahead and into the Mammoth end by Lawton. Lorenz is up against the end boards. Domi hoping for a loose puck to materialize as the 2 other forwards are up against the boards. It does come free. Domi back to the point. Carlo to Riley. Back to Domi. Cross ice for Riley into the left wing corner. Centering effort, deflects and goes into the near corner. Domi's onto it quickly but can't make a pass. Kept alive by Carlo around the back of the net to the far side. John Marino can't get it out. Leafs trying to find Domi in front of the net, but it was intercepted by Nate Schmidt. Marino now for Mammoth, and that is intercepted, and the Leafs are back in, but Riley loses the handle on the puck, and it's cleared out at center, and then he steals it right back. Now he'll shoot it in this time and head to the bench. Down the boards is Nyes. Working in around the boards, cut off by Nylander, far corner. Centering pass went off the stick of Jake McCabe as he was trying to load up a wrist shot. And it goes into the crowd and out of play, and I think a fan has made a pretty good catch down there.
Now, Leafs have had some pretty good offensive zone time here to start the second period, but nothing actually getting to the net. As the Austin Matthews line comes out with Willie Nylander and Matthew Nyes. Shots on goal are 10 to 8, but the shot attempts have got to favor the Leafs heavily, you would think.
Played back of the Utah goal. Well, let's take a look here. 8 shots on goal, 3 blocks, 9 have missed. Pass into the neutral zone, off a skate into Leaf territory. Stolarz leaves for McCabe. His pass finds Nylander in neutral ice, but he can't do anything with it. And it's back down into the Toronto zone. McCabe has it there. Nylander swinging it around at center. Tavares off the bench, works down the right wing and into the zone. Stops it up. Penalty coming here. Pass in front of the net for Nylander. Scores! Wee Willie ties
Tavares was the one that was going to draw the penalty on the right wing boards coming into the Utah end of the ice. As he was held on to, kept going till he got to the corner, finally threw it to the front of the net. And then Matthew Nyes does a good job of chipping it across the top of the crease onto the stick of Willie Nylander. And Nylander is not going to miss from there as he goes glove side on Vanacek to tie this game at 1.
19th point for Willie Nylander.
And just his 11th game.
At the point, down in the Leaf zone, a shot deflects over top of the net. Up on the boards, Mata trying to keep it in. Back to the point once more. Mata with a wrist shot that went wide. Down along the boards, far side. Carcone can't come up with it. The Leafs do. Myers getting it ahead. Robertson in on the right side for Bobby McMahon. A little stutter step and now looking in front for Tavares. McMahon drops it back to the blue line. Here's Myers with a wrist shot. That went off a body and up into the screen and out of play. Bit of a late whistle there from the linesman who caught it. But the referee did not. That it actually caromed into the screen and out of play.
By the way, for Willie Nylander, I know the league won't count it as a streak because of the games he's missed with the injury.
Can we?
Yes. So that's 8 straight now for Nylander with at least a point, 5 goals and 15 points.
Is that
in
not
those 8 games.
A stupid rule?
Yeah.
He can't get a point if he doesn't play.
Right. I guess consecutive games means the team as much as the player.
Played to center ice. Brought in over the line by Matthews to Nyes. Now to Matthews. Drop pass and a drive is kicked away by Vanacek. Mammoth in their own zone. Play it out at center, but Matthews is intercepted and fed it back on the left wing for Nyes, only to have it knocked out at center ice. Leafs will punch it back in. Nyes has to tag up. And back to retrieve it is Nate Schmidt. Played ahead by Mata, and in on the right side, it goes back of the Toronto goal. Reverse there, and the Maple Leafs McCabe will get it up on the right wing, and Brandon Carlo had his pass go off the stick of Nick Roy. Back come the Mammoth in over the line. Carlo takes his man nicely into the end boards and out of play, but the turnover is on a pass that comes up on the wing, and the Leafs have to go back after it again. Roy getting it out at center this time. A hit by Joshua freed it up, but Michelli couldn't add an attack to it. And the Mammoth have it again with a nice feed in on the left wing. Dropping in now, Yamamoto with a shot, and down his goaltender Stolars to take that off the right wing, and Stenlund getting it away and brings a face-off in the Toronto zone. This game is tied at 1s. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bet365 is paying out before the final buzzer.
Check out Bet365's early payout for NHL hockey. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 3-goal lead, you get paid no matter the final score. And with early payout, you could be on your way to a winning parlay.
Early payout, just another reason why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
An official partner of the NHL, must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
The fall get-together is here at Canadian Blood Services, which means it's the perfect time to grab your crew, hit up a donor center, and experience what you get when you give together. It's not just about donating blood and plasma. It's about showing up and feeling like we actually did something.
Jesse, you're up.
Awesome. Be right there. Book an appointment today at blood.ca and experience what you get when you give. Canadian Blood Services. Who's saving who?
At Desjardins, we speak business. We speak equipment modernization. We're fluent in data digitization and expansion into foreign markets. And we can talk all day about streamlining manufacturing processes. Because at Desjardins Business, we speak the same language you do. Business. So join the more than 400,000 Canadian entrepreneurs who already count on us and contact Desjardins today. We'd love to talk business.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
The backhand scores! Steven Lorentz!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
1-1 tie. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph. Armin Zagarian along with Andrew Adams and Andrew Holland. Keeping us on the air.
By the way, the tickets for the Roast for You are going rather briskly as well.
Yep.
So
yeah,
it's at Angus Glen Golf Club.
Yep.
Off Major Mac and Markham.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hockeywithheart.ca. You can get the tickets there.
A shot deflects wide of the goal to the corner and now pushed up on the wall for Lorenz. He tipped it, but Lawton couldn't handle it. Now high shot goes over top of the Leaf goal on the turnover. Lawton is able to dig it out and bounce it out into the center ice area where Domi pressures and Lawton follows up on it. Lawton in over the line. Laid it down around back of the net. The Oakville native in pursuit as it comes up on the wing, and Lorenz couldn't keep that in. Back come the Mammoth, but it's going to be whistled down offside at the Toronto blue line.
Unfortunate for Scott Lawton that he wasn't able to get back in the lineup a couple of games ago when the Leafs were in Philadelphia.
Right.
I'm sure it would be a wonderful reaction from the fans to have him back. He's really a heart and soul guy for that franchise.
Well, he will be an integral part of this group moving forward. I mean, they rave about him, what he's like in the room. Just a positive guy, and got a great sense of humor. Shot down into the Toronto zone, bouncing puck into the corner for Carconi. Got it back to the point, fed around the boards to the near side. And the Leafs get to it. Tavares trying to outfight his man for the puck. And it is bounced out at center ice. Mammoth play it back in. Leafs send it right back out again. Tavares couldn't come up with it. Utah to the line. Good back checking there by Bobby McMahon. Turned that aside, and now Tavares trying to steal the puck back as it's played down into Utah territory. Robertson forces it a little bit deeper before heading to the bench. Leafs are changing on the go. Ole Mata comes to center but turns the puck over at the Toronto blue line. Myers got it ahead, but Nylander on first effort couldn't do much with it. But now here's Nyes. Looked like he got hooked pretty good there by Hayden. But no penalty. Brought back in by the Leafs. Near side, Nyes. Nice little move. Oh, he had the captain in front of the net, but he couldn't get his stick on it after he literally played that between his legs. Poked into the corner. Back of the net now for Nylander. It went by him. McCabe will try to keep it in and does. Nylander with it. Got by him again back of the net. And Utah finally get it out at center, forcing Oliver Ekman-Larsson back to his own blue line. Leafs up on the right side now with McCabe, who shoots it in and peels to the bench. Grabbing it there. A centering pass. Scores! Scotty Lawton on the middle of a line change. Hammers this one home. No, it's Matthews. Matthews. What am I saying? In the middle of a line change, Matthews comes over the boards to join Michelli, and he hammers it home for a 2-1 lead.
Michelli, we saw highlights on YouTube of some of his setups, and he is in the corner on the backhand and is looking out to the slot, and a little saucer pass of the backhand to the left wing face-off circle, and Austin Matthews rips this little half slapper far side over the shoulder of Vitek Vanacek to give the Leafs a 2-1 lead, and now 3 straight games that Austin Matthews has scored 5 on 5.
So the Leafs gain the lead on a turnover and a great pass by Michelli to set it up. Puck down in the Toronto end. Another turnover here, but the Leafs are going to get clear of it. And now brought by Dakota Joshua to the blue line, but he fails to get it out. Back come the Mammoth in over the line and down into the near corner. Poke free for Michelli. And turned over again as it comes back to the point. One-timer on the far side, whistles wide. Rebound to the near point, but kept in. Around the boards to the far side for Sergachev. Cut off by the Leafs and fade ahead, and it is Roy trying to play it out. He hit the linesman's skate That kept it probably in the rink and probably would have gone into the Utah bench. But now both teams getting a change going. Mammoth get it down into the corner from Gunther. Play back along the boards by McCabe. Off on the wing for Lorenz. Rink wide for Domi. And knocked away, but the Leafs get it back at center. Domi to the line. And Lawton tried to stay onside, but he'd had to be bigger than any NBA basketball player I've seen to be able to drag that leg back far enough to be onside.
Still might have been a groin pull.
Oh, I think. It is 2-1 in favor of the Maple Leafs. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The best of live sports talk are on Sirius XM. Weekday mornings, hear Dan Patrick at 9 on NBC Sports Radio, Channel 85.
Running backs are the best supporting actors. They can't win Best Actor.
At 1, it's the Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Check me out for my passionate, unfiltered take on the world of sports.
And then at 3, it's the Mad Dog, Christopher Russo.
Anybody you ask knows I'm 100% right.
Hear from legends of the game, only on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
I love it. Just talk.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review
with Mick Kern.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play.
Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern
on NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
Radio Network.
Michelli and McCabe assist on the Matthews goal that has powered the Leafs into a 2-1 lead. 8:56. The time of the goal in the second period. Mammoth get the puck to center ice, brought back now by Gunther. To the near wing it comes. Schmidt trying to play it ahead. 2-on-1 breakdown low. Here's Peterka centering in front. Oh, what a save made by Stolarz. He goes from post to post to get a glove on it. Was that Logan Cooley coming in on the right side? I don't think he got very much of the puck, and it gave Stolarz a chance.
Kind of flips up in the air, but Stolarz still has to stay with this. I mean, this is sort of like a change-up. He goes from his right to his left, and as he's falling forward, the puck flutters up in the air, and I think very nearly heading over his left shoulder.
And then the Leafs take a roughing penalty.
Boy. Scott Lawton is going to take it. All right, so let's carry on with our streak now. Joey?
All right.
11 of the last 13 penalties the Leafs have taken. That was since that double minor, which was a bad call in Philadelphia against Travis Konechny. But since then,
that nobody in the National Hockey League or anybody in the officials realm listened to us?
Or agree with us or like us.
You keep pointing this out.
But I mean, isn't that an incredible streak?
No, it is. Absolutely. Yep. Shot down into Mammoth territory off a face-off win. Second power play of the game for Utah as they get to the line and in on the right side. Down into the corner, Gunther gets it back to the blue line, looking to the near side, driving to the front of the net was Logan Cooley, but they didn't get him the pass. He has it in the corner and plays catch with it to the far side. Keller looking for a man in front, goes back to the blue line. Here's Sergachev. Wrist shot coming, but it went wide of the net. Far side again for Marino. Back it comes, but it gets deflected and high and out and down the ice. Leafs will get a penalty killing change going. Lawton in the box for roughing. Brought on now by Utah, close play at the blue line. In fact, it was so close, it was offside, a delayed offside.
Now,
and the puck ends up going into the crowd.
Wait, are they going to call this delay a game? I thought that went off a stick before it went out. Utah's trying to campaign for delay a game penalty.
And the officials are huddling, and
they're
it's not
saying,
always a good sign. 54 seconds left in the one penalty.
Right now they're saying the Leafs have taken 11 of the last 13 penalties they've played in. If we give them another one, that'll be 12 of 14.
Easy, big fella. They haven't given them another one. It's just a face-off in this end.
Just to let the listener know what they were talking about.
Well, our listener knows.
And they couldn't figure out that it was 12 of 14, so they said, to hell with it. Let's just drop it.
Sergachev to Gunter on the left wing boards, down into the corner it goes, back to Gunter in the near corner. Looking in front of the net, back to the point. Sergachev, one-timer coming from the far side, blocked and then cleared into the corner. Good stick there from Stolarz, and the Leafs backhanded out and down the ice. Half minute to go in the power play. Lorenz hustles down and creates some havoc up against the boards, trying to pin the puck there, but has it dug free. And now Cooley starts away with a pass at center. To the line on a close play on the offside, but brought in over the line by Gunter. Back into the far half boards and centering pass. Intercepted there by the Leafs. Good play by Dakota Joshua. And the Leafs will get it down into Mammoth territory. Goaltender Vanacek playing it haphazardly around. The Leafs get another opportunity with it. And the penalty is over now as Tavares trying to one-hand it to Lawton, and that was broken up. Brought back by the Mammoth and got into the Toronto zone. Leafs with it, and time as Utah changing. Ahead for Lawton. He'll shoot it in and get to the bench. 7:05 to play, second period. The Leafs have scored twice and lead it by a score of 2-1. Now here's a break in. Oh, and a dive, and what a play! Holy Mackinac, Brandon Carlo. Oh, really?
Somebody call this a penalty. I don't know which official. The one that was right by the net did not make the call. I mean, this was puck first. When Carlo dove, boy, we're going to see this again. I swear, Brandon Carlo got the puck first.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that is supposed to be...
Boy, that's two bad calls in this game. The high sticking penalty when it was a Utah player's own stick. And now the referee's saying, we finally figured out it's 12 of 14 penalties you've taken in the last stretch, so we can go ahead and make the call. Boy, that's... And was it not the back official that made that call?
I thought so.
So not the referee that was right there to see it. The guy 55 feet away. Boy, that's a tough one to take.
Leafs win the face-off, and they're going to snap it out on a long shot that is going to be right on goal.
Boy, I mean, that's two of them. And they must have known by watching replay that they screwed up the first call, the first penalty of the game.
Yamamoto to the line and in on the right side. Down into the corner it goes for Hayton. He can't come up with it. Nyes does. The Leafs thinking about a short-handed rush, but Nyes thinks better of it and ices the puck. Changes coming for Toronto. Minute 30 to go in the power play. And the Leafs are looking forward to the third period where they're guaranteed to get 3 power play opportunities to even things up. Peterka gets in over the line but can't make a play with it. Well, maybe not. Back into the slot area to the left wing side. A shot by Carconi is swallowed up by Stolarz. And house cleaning is done there by the Leaf defense.
It's got to be careful. They've already been given a roughing penalty in one of these scrums.
Well, there's some DNA evidence all over the ice and a broken stick.
1:11 to go and the penalty to Brandon Carlo. And the thing I'm amazed at is I'm watching the official right beside Anthony Stolarz. The arm didn't go up, so it had to be the official that didn't even have a better view of it that made the call.
Face off to the right. And being waved out is Nick Roy. And the draw won by the Leafs. Lawton, and it is poked off the glass and out at center ice. Here the Mammoth back in over the line. Pass intercepted by Roy. Fed ahead for Lawton. Thinking of getting into the rush there was Jake McCabe, but thought better of it. And the Utah Mammoth are back in their own zone, bringing it out at center with Sergachev. He had it taken away, and down the ice it goes again. Good job done by Myers. Back of the goal, the goaltender playing it around into the near corner. 34 seconds left in the third consecutive power play for Utah. Drop pass, Schmaltz to the line and in. Thinks better of shooting, goes back to the blue line. Cooley sends it off into the far corner, goes into the slot, then retreats and looks for a pass and gets it. Sends it back into the far corner, trying to come out in front of the net. It comes back and it skipped over Nate Schmidt's stick. He couldn't get a shot away. Now on the near side, Gunther trying to play it in front. A shot right on the big rebound. Oh, it lays so tantalizingly in the blue paint. Now another shot, and Stolars has come across and stopped that, and the Leafs have iced the puck with the penalty over, but that rebound was laying there, and the Leaf defender got over and swiped it into the corner.
Well, I say your goaltender's got to be your best penalty killer, and Anthony Stolars has been brilliant tonight. 3 for 3 in the penalty kill.
Dakota Mermis was the savior on that instance.
Went just off the left arm of Stolars. Bounced into the blue paint before it was swept away.
Face-off won by Utah. Wrist shot coming, gloved by Stolars, and Lorenz makes sure that Kevin Stenlund gets out of...
Well, Stenlund didn't go to extreme lengths to avoid contact with Anthony Stolars, did he?
Well, we've got a break in the action. The Maple Leafs lead in the hockey game 2-1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. So hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right, build it Rona.
Partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. T&Cs apply.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
4:41 to play in the second period. The Leafs lead 2-1. Matthew Nyes assisting on the Nylander goal that tied the game. That's 6 games that he's had an assist in, and that is a career high for Matthew Nyes, who's turning into a playmaker.
Our all-round player, we can say.
Yep. He's got 17 points, 13 of which are assists. Puck in the Toronto corner, far side, swept around to the near corner. And the Leafs get there and send an alley-oop through center ice. It's knocked down, but almost stolen by Robertson, who was right on the defender who gloved that high alley-oop, trying to get it down to his stick, and Robertson almost stole it from him. Played to the far side. Robertson onto it, and the puck in along the boards to him. A centering pass. Tavares holds, still with it, running out of real estate. Tried to play it back to Robertson. Centering effort there for McMahon didn't work. Robertson has it again. It comes to the side of the goal, and it's going to be covered up by Vanacek. And a face-off will come in the Utah end of the rink.
Nick Robertson tries to backhand one out, hits the referee's skate, goes back into the corner. The Leafs have been shorthanded 3 times. but it might be 9-on-4 instead of 5-on-4 if we start doing the way this one has been called. But
Face
yeah, we hope there's some chintzy makeup calls coming, but I'm starting to lose faith.
I've never known you ever have any of that.
Yeah, I got no faith.
Jim Ralph has faith in the officiator. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. Puck down in the Toronto zone to the point. A shot coming. Scores! Sergachev from the blue line. And I think Anthony Stolarz would like to have this one back. It was right along the ice.
Yeah, this was the Leafs. This was a simple dump in, and the Leafs, Jake McCabe went into the corner. Utah won the battle and just threw it back to the middle of the ice. And I think for Stolarz, Joe, it was a late read through a bit of a screen. And by the time he realized the shot had been taken, it had zipped past him into the back of the net.
16:27, the time of the goal.
Yeah, Jake McCabe tried to get it on the backhand to Austin Matthews, and puck was picked off and fed back to the point. And the former Tampa Bay Lightning defenseman, Mikhail Sergachev, has tied the game.
2-2 here in the second period. A long lead pass has gone astray and an icing. It'll be the end result. I'll bring it back down in the circle to the right, I believe, of
Utah's heading in the right direction. You know, they've had some rough stretches going back to their time in Arizona, which, by the way, this has started as a new franchise, which I find a little odd.
Yeah,
the Winnipeg Jets records were carried into Arizona, but Arizona to Utah
is a non-factor.
Yeah.
They've decided to face it off in the circle to the left of the Utah goal. And the draw scrummed but controlled by the Mammoth. And it'll be played out into the center ice area and shot down into the Toronto zone. Stolarz bunting it around the boards. Left wing side. Michelli to Riley. Riley to the line and in. It's into the corner. Riley presses the attack. Back of the goal, it goes to Joshua. Now to Riley. Riley holds down into the corner to Joshua again. Back to the point to Riley, but it bounced over his stick and has come all the way back into the Toronto zone. Leafs get it over for Myers. Plays it into an empty corner on the near side. Riley got there first, but now runs into a traffic jam. The Leafs trying to get the puck out against the boards to no avail. Get it to the line and finally get it out. Gunther trying to find a man. Cooley had it knocked away. Leafs break it back in over to the line on the left wing side. Michelli circles, heads to the bench as the Leafs are in the midst of a change. Robertson and Tavares get it freed up. Robertson back of the net, stops up, works into the far corner, tried to find Domi in front, but it was intercepted and brought to center ice now by Utah. Turned over at the blue line. Domi unable to get to it. Almost knocked it away there, and if he had, he would have been in alone. Utah get it out and down into the Leaf end. Icing waved off. And the Leafs back of the goal, send it to an empty corner, but onto it quickly is Jack McBain. McBain got it back of the net, swept to the blue line, just kept in there at the blue line by Simashev, and now back of the net into the far corner it goes. Tavares trying to get it onto his stick, got it freed up for Nick Robertson. Robertson frees it up, and Carlo will shoot it in to allow his teammates to go to the bench and change. Minute 26 to go, second period. We're tied at a pair of goals apiece. Myers shoots it back into the Utah end, but it ricochets off a stick and goes up into the screen. And the faceoff will be in the center ice area as a result with 1:17 to play in the second period.
Last year, Utah's the first year in the state of Utah, let's put it that way, 31-13. So 89 points was a pretty good improvement. They have missed the playoffs in 5 straight, and 12 of the last 13 and 17 of the last 21 seasons. And I think, a big reason why it didn't work in Arizona, you've got to have some playoff excitement, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Shot down into the Toronto end. Brandon Carlo Gets it up on the wing. Nylander trying to find a man, had it knocked away, and then it's brought in offside. And the linesman blows the play dead with 57 seconds remaining in period number 2. And our second period is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care.
Well, hopefully the Leafs can take advantage of a Utah team here in the third period when it's coming up, where this is 3 games in 4 nights. It started in Utah, and then, boy, we got a penalty here coming up. Is that Willie Nylander that's down?
And he is doubled over as he is going to the bench under his own accord.
Brandon Tanev was waving the trainers over. I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but it was on the boards just below us.
Oh, the puck off the glass may have caught him on the side of the head. He has not gone to the dressing room. He's on the Leaf bench. There was no blood on the ice, so I think probably just the impact. It's not a lot of fun to have happen to you. Face off in the Toronto zone to the right of Stolarz. Draw one cleanly by Hayton to the blue line. Sergachev's wrist shot deflects well wide of the net. Poked back to the line, and the Leafs are able to break it out. Nyes makes a nifty move and then ran into Tavares trying to get across the blue line. Nyes looked like he had a pretty good head of steam going there, and if he'd
I think John Tavares would agree.
Yes. Tavares with it to Matthews. Matthews up on the left wing, trying to play it ahead. Utah get back in over the line. Good back checking by Bobby McMahon, though. Pushed it into the corner, and the Leafs have it now under control in their own zone. 10 seconds to go. Got it ahead, backhand to the line. Gloved and now played along the boards. Stolen by Nyes, but his pass for McMahon was out of his reach. Time will run out. So both teams score in the second period. The Leafs tie the game and then take the lead on goals by Nylander and Matthews. But Sergachev replies at 16:27. They'll go to the intermission deadlocked at 2s.
Not sure what teams are discussing on the ice. We got a penalty coming up here at the 20-minute mark. We got a call coming up.
Utah 22 minor penalty for cross-checking.
There you go, Mr. Ralph. That ends your streak, doesn't it?
We're still owed.
Oh,
the Leafs will go to their first power play of the night to start the third period. I've liked what we've seen, Joe, in the first 40 minutes. The 3 penalty kills seem to take any kind of momentum out of the offense, obviously, right? Where now you're defending, you get guys like Nick Robertson that don't get opportunities. Bobby McMahon has been used a little bit on the penalty kill, but it does disrupt the lines. And hopefully the Leafs can take advantage in the special team they get to start the third.
Well, it is a 2-2 tie, and we will step aside. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert to take you through our second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on SiriusXM FC 157.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The
Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at. And if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mountain. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of highway we haven't been able to cover. So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Pass in front of the net for Nylander. Scores! Wee Willie ties the game on a great setup by John Tavares. And the Maple Leafs have tied it at 1. In the middle of a line change, Matthews comes over the boards to join Michelli, and he hammers it home for a 2-1 lead.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert, and that was a bit more of an explosive period in terms of offense. It's a 2-2 tie. Now, after 40 minutes between the Utah Mammoth and the Toronto Maple Leafs, thanks to goals by William Nylander and Austin Matthews.
Who else? It's been pretty much
scoring.
William Nylander and Austin Matthews. Like, if this team is going, chances are William Nylander and Austin Matthews are the ones driving the bus. Goals in 3 straight now for Austin Matthews. All goal scorer goals too. Like,
that was a snipe.
He's shooting the puck hard into the back of the net. In Philly, it was that way. The breakaway against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then another nice, just like hammer time type of goal off the stick of Austin Matthews. A nice pass from Matthias Michelli.
Revenge night.
Off a line change. Pretty good to see Michelli get on the board in a big spot. Playing with Dakota Joshua and Nick Watt might not be as advantageous a position to pick up assists, but out there with Matthews, gets on the board as well against his former team. It was a good period offensively for the Leafs.
Yeah, definitely. When you see Matthews starting to put the puck in the net the way he is, you feel good about this team not turning a corner. I'm not saying they're not in a great spot, but like just continuing to build momentum. The Atlantic standings are very tight and each point matters. So getting this one in regulation would be huge. And so Matthews getting that second goal of the night for the Leafs. I know they lost the lead there and it's a 2-2 tie, but looks good when he's looking good. William Nylander also extremely on fire. The catalyst offensively for this team. He's got points in 8 straight games. In that span, he's got 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points. Like, he is contributing night in, night out when he's playing, and he's way up there in the points leaders in the NHL. It's great to see consistency, and he's doing his thing. Between the two of them, they're going to have to, pretty much shoulder the offensive load at this point. I don't really see somebody that's, I don't know. It feels like those two and the rest of them.
Well, as long as you're stacking that line, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know it didn't come like fully as the line because Michelli was out there. But John Tavares is playing with Bobby McMahon and Nick Robertson. Like, again, like Robertson's a talented offensive hockey player, but hasn't been able to show it with regularity. If John Tavares is on an island, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him.
And JT's got 16 points, and Nyes has 16 points. Like,
Tavares has been really good. But again, the lines have changed pretty much every night for John Tavares. Right now, it does seem, though, like the Maple Leafs are kind of leaning exclusively on Austin Matthews and William Nylander to be those guys. They're also leaning exclusively on 5-on-5 scoring. One thing that's a little bit lost in all this is that the Maple Leafs by rate are the highest scoring 5-on-5 team in the league right now. 3.32 goals per 60 minutes for the Maple Leafs leads the NHL. And that's partly, it's not really reflected in like, oh, wow, they're scoring so many goals because they don't score on the power play. They don't actually get power plays. They're going on the power play to start the third period. It'll be the first power play of the game for the Maple Leafs. And like they have not only an ineffective power play so far this year, but they just don't get any time on the power play basically at all. They have 4 power play goals all season long. The only 4 teams that have played less on the power play so far this year have 11 goals, 8 goals, 10 goals, and 5 goals. So right now, like in terms of weapons, the Maple Leafs power play among the weapons, the power play weapons, maybe the most toothless in the entire league at this point. It's just not helping them win games at all. They're not getting opportunity. And when they get opportunity, they're not scoring. Maybe they will to start the third period here and get a lead, but they've been relying, to my point, on 5-on-5 scoring almost exclusively. And it continues tonight.
Yeah, that would be a great time to get one tonight. Start the third period, take a lead early on, and play some good defensive shutdown hockey for the rest of the game. I would love to see it. It'd probably feel good to get a power play goal, too, when you're not getting a lot of power plays and then you're not actually capitalizing on the power plays. It's a frustrating feeling, and I think that power play that they're getting is a little bit of a makeup call. We'll take it. No problem. We'll take a makeup call. There's been a few strange moments in this game, but I want to talk about Anthony Stolarz. He made a great save early on in the game. He also made a bunch on the power play that the Utah Mammoth had. I think he looked a lot better in the second period until the Sergachev
fatigue goal or traffic goal? Your call.
I think it's a bit of both. I'll give it traffic goal. A point shot from Sergachev that's going to look like me and you on Friday at the Eric Lindros charity tournament. Shots on the ice from the point. And it went in. So
I'm not shooting from the point, I'll tell you that.
That's true. I hope I'm not near the point.
Dump it in the corner from the point.
That's true. But, it's one he wants back. And that's the difference maker to make this a 2-2 tie. Wasn't pretty, but I like Stolar's ability to bounce back. I think that was just, he's been playing a lot of hockey. He couldn't see the puck and went in. Sucks, but he's not going to hang his head about it.
If he can summon 20 more minutes here, a good period for the Maple Leafs, that'll go a long way. I know a lot of hockey's coming, but Joseph Woll may be on the way. But this guy needs a breather at some point here. We'll talk about Brendan Carlo very quickly with the O-Town scoreboard after the break.
Let's do that. You're listening to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Julie Stewart-Binks here, along with former NHLer Nate Thompson. Join us on Energy Line as we share our takes, stories, and surprise guests every week. Patrick Kane, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Team USA head coach Mike Sullivan. 6-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier.
With over 800 NHL games, I know a couple guys.
Biz didn't have Twitter. No one knew who he was, so I called Whit, and I'm like, how is Biz? He was like, I'm telling you right now, you're going to hate him. Then he'll be your best friend.
Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts,
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, category is ways Desjardins Insurance goes the extra mile to make insurance easy. First question, what are some of the things you can easily do online or in the app?
Oh, view your policy.
Add a new driver.
Oh, update your address when you move.
Easy. You guys are good.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
Bet365 is paying out of the NHL. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. T&Cs apply.
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. so hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right, build it Rona.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
This week, it's Sunwing's sales event of the year.
Really, Doug? The voice?
It's Who I Am. Sunwing Sun Week is on now until November 9th, and it's big.
Sunwing Sun Week? Big how?
Daily door crasher deals and the chance to win monster legit prizes, even free vacations.
I'm in. But also, do you need a lozenge?
Yeah. Don't mess this up. Book Sunwing Sun Week with a local travel advisor or at .ca.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Cross the line with a pass, and they score!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. 2-2 tie after 2. Ailish and Justin here. You wanted to take a quick moment to make note of a great save that Carlo had, which ended up in a penalty.
I mean, I guess a save. Like just
a diving play.
He made probably his best defensive play of the entire season so far, and I know he's been like kind of top 3 in terms of whipping boy at the very least. And he gets called for a penalty for it, and it's just like, okay, that's Brendan Carlo's season. Great play, goes to the box, should never have been a penalty. Leafs did kill it off, but did get a power play goal after that.
I thought he got all puck first.
It was. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Okay, still just one other game ongoing, and good thing Alexander Ovechkin has the floor because he scored his 900th career goal in the NHL. He's the only player in NHL history, of course, to score 900 times in this league. It's pretty amazing. 4-0. The Capitals lead the Blues. Beauvillier, Carlson, and Wilson also have goals in that one. Still to come tonight, Nazem Kadri will play his 1,000th NHL game as the Flames host.
Hey everyone, can everyone hear me real quickly before everyone yells at me? I wanted to get this in before the start of the last period. For those of you who don't know, there will be no Leafs stream Saturday night. Saturday night. What is Saturday night? Okay, so Saturday night is game 3 of round 1 for the Crew. They're playing Cincinnati Saturday night. Let's see. Kickoff is at 6. Everyone's more than welcome to join me for the Crew game. It's going to be a live watch party. You're going to see my face and not just hear my voice. But it looks like the third period is going to start, so I'm going to send it back over to Joe and what's-his-face for the call in the third period. Utah and Toronto tied 2-2.
Sports, or search for your school on the Sirius XM app.
Put it up and in!
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group. And of course, I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change. And we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs and the Mammoth are tied 2-2 as we head to the third period, and a nice chat with Stevie Moore here visiting his brother Dominic.
Yeah, does the color for the Utah Games. Leafs start on the power play. I made a mistake.
Oh, no.
That's there's no longer a rule where it's puck first when you dive. So you own up to it. I made a mistake, just like the officials did on the other two calls.
Well, then you know what? It wasn't tripping. So a cross-checking call to Jack McBain, and the Leafs are on the power play. And does this area of their game need to get well? Brought to center by Nylander on the wing for Tavares. He can't handle it. Shot down the ice by Utah. One of the changes is that Oliver Ekman-Larsson is back on the point instead of Morgan Riley. The drop goes to Matthews. Matthews to the line, flips in for Tavares, right wing side. He drives the net, got it through the goal crease, but no one could get a stick on it. Tavares to the blue line, Oliver Ekman-Larsson into the far side to Matthews, back to OEL and now to Nylander. Nylander to Tavares. Tavares loads up a shot, but it was blocked, and then Nylander couldn't keep a bouncing puck into the zone. Leafs regroup in the center ice area with Nyes. Shooting it in and around the boards. It's going to go to the far side. Tavares is able to free it up for Nylander. Far half boards. Nylander working back towards the blue line. Dishes off to OEL. Pass down low. Coming out in front. Tavares. And he lost the handle on the puck and the stick. And down the ice it goes by Utah.
Well, he was in a prime spot, too, wasn't he? It was almost as if he hesitated between shooting it or trying to slide it over to Matthew Nyes.
Second unit on the ice for Toronto. Domi makes a good play to get it up on the wing to Robertson. Michelli goes to the corner, then takes a drop pass. Back to the blue line to Riley, to Michelli again. Michelli down into the corner. Centers in front. A shot by Robertson went just wide of the net. Domi in the far corner. Rattles it back to the blue line to find Morgan Riley. Near side now for Michelli. A pass to the other side, and it bounced over Domi's stick. Back to the blue line, but the pass was a rather hard one, and Riley couldn't keep it in. Brought back in by Michelli. Michelli to the left wing side. Robertson in on goal. The rebound. He pokes to the front of the net, and good save both times made by Vanacek. Penalty has expired. Leafs trying to keep the puck in at the blue line, and left wing side Jake McCabe. McCabe gets it around back of the net. Matthews lets it go to Nylander. Back to the point to OEL. OEL plays it around the boards to the far side. McMahon keeping it alive. Jake McCabe in front of the net. Couldn't get a puck to behave, and it is cleared out at center ice. I don't know if I could say that the power play looked better.
Actually, the second unit looked more dangerous than the first.
Yes, it did. Played out at center ice. Leafs get a turnover. Matthews snaps it right back down into the Mammoth zone. Stolen back into the slot area. Backhand in front of the net there by Dakota Joshua. Went just wide. Matthews in on the far corner. Unable to get to it. Mammoth get it out. And Yamamoto will play it down into the Toronto end. Leafs 2 and Utah 2. Long shot wide of the Leaf goal, kept in on the near boards now by Ian Cole. Sent around back of the net. Pinching down is Nate Schmidt, but it's cut off, and the Maple Leafs have it under control in the near corner. And now a pass initiated there by Mermis was intercepted. Brought back in by the Mammoth, who play it into the slot area. Shot, big save off the stick of Barrett Hayton by Stolars, and the Leafs get rid of it. It'll cost them an icing, and it'll be right back down into Toronto territory.
You know, if Dakota Mermis is able to complete that pass, though, I mean, he had 2 Leafs up ice near the Utah blue line. Nick Robertson very nearly puts it through the pads of Vitek Vanacek coming off the left wing. That was just after the power play had expired.
Draw one by Toronto. Pushed out at center ice. Unable to reach it was Dakota Joshua, and the Mammoth send it back into the Leaf end. Spun around on the boards to the far side. Lawton couldn't get it out. Kept in on the right side. Keller with a shot. That was deflected wide of the net off the blocking glove. And the Maple Leafs are going to chip it out at center. And Robertson makes a nifty little pass to Riley. Back in for Nicky. And that was tipped just wide of the far goal post.
A smart little play by Nick Robertson. Tip it to Riley and go right to the net.
He's got it again. Across the line for Riley into the slot. Wrist shot off the stick. Goaltender sliding out of the net is without his stick now, but it'll be brought to center ice by the Mammoth. Bouncing puck controlled by Carlo. Set around on the boards, but not past the defense. Carlo will try it again as it's handed back to him. And now he frees it up for Riley, who outlets, but that pass was too strong as it went right past Lorenz, and then Tavares couldn't save the icing, so it'll come all the way back into the Toronto end. 18-14, Utah out shooting the Maple Leafs.
Boy, another play though for the Leafs that
doesn't result
in a shot on goal. You said 14 shots, but a lot of their high danger chances have not
I'd say
reached the
5.
goaltender. Oh, at least, yeah.
Draw to the right. Won by Utah. They drop it back. Long shot doesn't make it past a crowd in front. And Robertson trying to get it out. Manages to do that. And it is flipped the rest of the way by Lorenz into Utah territory to allow the Leafs to change. 14:42 to go in the third. Maple Leafs and the Utah Mammoth are deadlocked at 2s, and an offside comes at the Toronto blue line.
Leafs have been better in the face-off dot as well. 58% they've won. 23 out of the 40 they've taken. Austin Matthews is the leader in that category for Toronto, winning 11 of 14.
Shot into the Utah zone. Far boards area for Sergachev. Back of the net cut off though. Leafs trying to work it in front with Dakota Joshua tangled up in there. Now he gets it back to the blue line, settled and sent to the near side. Mermis with a shot that's well wide. Grabbed off far corner by Michelli. Michelli trying to center off into the goal crease. It comes, and it was sent just wide of the net on a pretty good play made by Dakota Joshua. Long bouncing puck wide of the Toronto goal. Utah get it freed up. That's drawn a crowd in along the boards. Dug out by the Leafs. Pushed to center ice. Now Raw gets it the rest of the way down into the zone. Changes for both teams. Two tie. Mammoth playing it ahead. They're 5-3-0 on the road and 9-4-0 overall for 18 points, 3 more than what the Leafs have managed, who have played the majority of their games on home ice, 6-2-1. Shot into the Toronto end. Stolar's back of the goal to find Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who gets it ahead at center for Nyes. A rink-wide pass. Look out. That's going off a stick and up off one of the Utah players, I think. We've got a break. 2-2 the score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
We are 9 weeks into the fantasy football season, and whether your team is in the race or ready to make the greatest comeback ever, Fantasy Sports Radio's experts can provide that winning perspective.
It's more rewarding when you lose your first-round pick and you find a way to win anyway.
From start-sit advice to waiver pickups to so much more.
You have to be honest with your team. Even if you're in first place, always look to improve.
Make your move with Fantasy Sports Radio. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs 2 and the Utah Mammoth 2. Leafs will entertain the Boston Bruins here on Saturday night. 7 o'clock start. Hope that you will join us.
What a change in Boston over the last couple of years, right?
Wow.
Including Chris Bergeron retiring, Brad Marchand now in Florida.
Draw at center ice where the puck left the surface. Won by Utah. Fed ahead by Schmidt. Played down into Toronto territory. Carlo able to protect the puck, but got it up on the wing and then had to battle back for it back of the goal. And the Maple Leafs flipping it high to center ice, looking for Lorenz. Lorenz in on the left wing, had it knocked to the near boards and then lost an edge and couldn't back it up. Now he gets across the line with it. Domi unable to keep it in, and out come the Mammoth to the Leaf blue line and in. Down the boards, Peterka trying to center. That's gone off a stick and bounding to center, and now Domi working down the right wing. Max works into the slot area, still with it with the shot, and that went off a body, and I think it was Lorenz as he's getting up a little worse for wear, having that gone off the back of his leg, I believe. Puck down in the Toronto end. Oliver Ekman-Larsson ahead for John Tavares. Tavares trying to go rink wide, hit a skate. That allows OEL to get to it and shoot it down into the zone. Bobby McMahon bulling his way back of the net. Got it out in front. Tavares scores! Holy mackerel! 501 gives the Leafs the lead.
What you love about this goal is how the Leafs make it happen. Get to the line, ring it around the boards, and Bobby McMahon is the Leafs. That's coming down the right wing side. And eventually it's chipped out to John Tavares in the slot, and the backhand by Tavares beats Vitek Vanacek blocker side. And the Leafs have their first lead of the game, or second lead of the game. 3-2 now here in the third period. Nick Robertson and Bobby McMahon did a great job on a dump in.
7th goal of the year for John Tavares, the Oakville native, and 501 on his night, celebrating reaching that milestone. Here the centering pass knocked away. Into the corner it comes to the near side. A centering pass again is stolen back, and Robertson will skate it to center. Flipping it in for McMahon. McMahon looked to the front of the net thinking Robertson might have been headed that way. It comes back to the blue line, and it bounced over Jake McCabe's stick, or he might have really been able to walk right in there.
But one of those plays tonight, right? Almost great scoring chances.
Played around the boards and out at center ice. Chopped back in over the line by the Maple Leafs, and Utah has to go back to regroup. 11 minutes to play, third period. Second lead of the game, as Mr. Ralph so adroitly pointed out.
And to correct myself,
For the Maple Leafs, shot down into the zone. We ever go through a game where we're absolutely perfect?
Yes.
It'll be the end of the line.
2006, Leafs at Tampa.
Really?
Yep. I still have the puck.
I'm gonna drive it into your head these days. Down into the Leaf zone it goes. Puck comes free. Brought out now on the near side by Joshua, who was taken to the boards, but he follows up on it. Barges his way in over the line for Nick Roy. Back for his man in front of the net, but it was scooped away at the last second from Joshua by the defender. Brought in over the line now by a long shot taken wide of the net by Krause. And it's going to carry him to the near boards, but not out. Utah keeping it into the slot. Dished off on the left wing. A shot. Good blocking save made by Stolars. The puck goes back to the net. The battle ensues there, and Riley is able to come away with it. Morgan Riley slowly to center. In need of a change for everyone. Shoots it in, and he'll peel to the bench. Roy follows suit. Utah in their own zone. Got it up on the left wing side for Peterka. Dished into the Toronto zone. A big collision there. Mermis getting maybe the worst of it, but certainly instituted a lot of it and is regaining a little more of it as he gives Gunther a pretty good combing. And now we've got Myers getting after his man and maybe taking up the staff of his defense partner.
Got to be careful here. You got a 1-goal lead with 9:18 to go in the third period. Don't give him a freebie.
Doesn't look like penalties are going to be called.
By the way, did you see what Jordan Biddington did? Alex Ovechkin scored his 900th career goal. He grabbed the puck and put it in his pants. And I'm not proud of this. I used to do the same thing.
Really?
My pants just got so damn heavy. I had to stop.
Imagine the rebound off those things must have been dramatic.
Oh, yeah. I look like a sporting goods store.
Leafs 3, Utah 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
Okay. First question. When does Desjardins Insurance suggest you switch to winter tires?
Below 7 degrees. Easy.
Nice. Next, what's a smart way to save money on your home insurance?
Switch to Desjardins Insurance and you could save up to $900 when you bundle home and auto. Easy.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
He scores! 5-hole goal!
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Do you think Jordan Binnington was hoping to get a jersey or a stick in exchange for the puck that he stuffed in his pants?
I mean, it's hard not to love that.
It is, no.
He's probably going, hey, I deserve it as much as he did.
That's right. My name's going to be attached to it. Here the Mammoth getting it into the slot, a shot. Oh, and a big collision there. Wow. Stolars gets knocked down by Barrett Hayton. Now he's trying to get his stick but can't. Hayton in front of the net with McCabe working him with the cross checks. The puck goes down into the corner. Hayton knocked down finally. Centering pass in front, and Hayton blew it. He had an opportunity, and it went right by him after all of the hat. Leafs get it out at center. Matthews needing a change, sends it back into his own zone.
Pretty good collision with Stolars, wasn't it? Stolars is very slow to get up. He seems to be chirping at the official now.
Here the Leafs to center, launching it high down into the zone. The Leafs have had one power play, and the Mammoth have had three, and a bouncing puck in front of the net that was swatted at by Bobby McMahon that ends up in the corner. And now here is Gunther getting to center and sending it down into the Leaf end. Riley able to free it up. Tavares against the boards, back to Morgan Riley, works back of the net, sends it back to Tavares, and the assistant captain with a lead pass off McMahon into the zone. McMahon trying to beat his man Schmidt to the puck in the corner. Forces it back behind the net. Robertson adding support, has it go off his skate. Now Roy after it, after a partial change, sends it back in for Nick Robertson. Robertson trying to get it back to the blue line, but it's cut off. And now here are the Mammoth coming to center. They'll get it down into the Toronto zone. Pass ahead. Michelli skates around one, pokes it ahead on the right wing. Brought to center ice and shot in by the Leaf defense. Down around back of the net, goaltender Vanacek getting it up on the wing. 7:12 to play in the third. Leafs have opened up a one-goal lead. Utah sending it into the corner, bouncing puck in front of the net, gobbled up, brought out by Dakota Joshua. Joshua to center, a diagonal shooting into the far corner. No support over there as the Leafs are changing, and Utah have it in their own end. Oli Mata forced back behind the net by Steven Lorenz. Mata reverses his field and comes to the near side to Ian Cole, who will get it ahead at center, and now the Mammoth in across the line. Off onto the right wing side, it bounces away, and Domi is a Lone Ranger here, sending it deep into Mammoth territory, taken out of the play. Could have been a penalty, as it was well after the shoot-in, and the puck on the far side now strikes the official. Leafs trying to take advantage of that, but the Mammoth find some skating room and get it out at center and down into Toronto territory. Play it around back of the net to the near corner. Morgan Riley, a pass ahead, deflects off Willie Nylander's stick. Mammoth with it in their own zone. 6 minutes to play in the third. Marino down the right wing boards, looks in front of the net, got it out in front, but no one could get a stick on it. Good back checking there by Austin Matthews. Riley to his defense partner, bank pass ahead. Matthews can't get around the defense. Puck on the near boards right at center. And the Mammoth will stretch things out and now start back up and shoot it in. Schmidt getting it in deep. Puck played by Matthews into the near corner. Got it ahead for Nylander. He can do nothing with it but get it out, but does a good job in doing just that. Mammoth with it again, Logan Cooley. Trying to flip it in. Blocked there by Tavares. Pass back for Johnny. Where'd the puck go? Oh, deflected way over on the far side. And McMahon sends it back in. I ask you a simple question once in a while. Do I get any help? No.
I pointed.
Thank you. It's a big ice surface, you know. Back behind the net. You just keep pointing where it is, and I'll follow along. How's that? Centering pass, and off on the near boards. Tavares trying to get it out of the Leaf zone. It bounces high, forced to the right wing side. Myers hustling, and he'll get it out into neutral ice with 4:40 to play. Played ahead for Tavares. They'll stretch things out as the Leafs are changing. Myers backpedals, finds Riley. Riley on the left wing, brought in over the line by Joshua. Into the far corner for Michelli, back behind the net. Joshua centers, Michelli! Scores! A dagger to his mates as Michelli fires home the Leafs' fourth goal to make it 4-2.
Shelley had the assist on the Austin Matthews goal in the second period, and here he starts this play by getting in on the forecheck and getting the puck in the corner to the left of Vitek Vanacek. And Dakota Joshua eventually picks it up around the boards from behind the net and gives it right back to Michelli, and with a Leaf going to the front of the net. That was Nick Waugh, I believe, who was being tripped as Michelli let it go and beat Vanacek, Walker's side. The Leafs lead by 2.
It comes at 15:40 of the third period, and so all four lines getting involved in this.
And Matthias Michelli, I mean, you set out a game, you're hoping to get back into it, especially against team you've played your NHL career for, and he gets the opportunity. He's looked good. A lot of guys have had jump tonight, and like we say, they end up with a 4-goal game, but really some of their best opportunities are just shots where they missed the net or couldn't quite make the play for something clear cut.
Leafs poke it out at center and a foot race for it. Lawton won't win it. McBain back in his own zone, and here the Mammoth bringing it in on the right side. McBain with a shot and down to cover up Stolars. And boy, there have been some really good scrums in front of the net at either end of the building. And another one ensues here.
You love it, but Anthony Stolars, still time left, 3:55 to go in the third, but the goal by Sergachev in the second period, as you said, is one he'd like to have back. A point shot that beat him 5-hole along the ice. But since then, Anthony Stolars has been solid, if not spectacular.
It is 4-2 Toronto, 3:55 left in the third. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and by downloading the SiriusXM app, you can enjoy a gift bag full of holiday channels just waiting to be opened. Shake the tinsel right off the tree with Jolly Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Let your children take control of the sleigh radio with Kids Christmas. Or relive timeless classics with holiday traditions. There are dozens of festive channels to choose from. Just download the SiriusXM app and search Holiday now.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The Leafs Radio Network.
The key to victory is brought to you by Rona. Rona knows the game we love is hard on the home, so make sure your home is ready to take on the hockey season. Visit Rona.ca for more details. Build it right, build it Rona.
Well, start the game the same way you finished against Pittsburgh. A little more jump. I think we've seen that even though they didn't score in the first period. Leafs have looked crisper tonight than some of the previous games.
Flipped out at center ice. Net empty down to our left to start. And no, off the goal post from Willie at the blue line. That wobbled, I think, just at the end and caught the post instead of going into the net. Backhanded into the Toronto end. Stolarz punching it around the boards. It's going to deflect to the near wall to Clayton Keller. Keller trying to outfight his man. That's drawn a crowd. Back to the point, kept in by Schmaltz to the far side, directed to the side of the net. Back of the goal on the near side now. Cooley back to the point. Schmaltz gets it over on the far wing. Looking back, Nick Schmaltz gets it again. Here's Cooley getting it in along the boards. Keller tries to help out. Pass intercepted. Leafs get it free. Nyes breaking to center. Empty net. Scores! Doctor, you can take the bedpan. This one's over.
Poor doctor. Matthew Nyes continues his hot streak by finishing this one off. Nyes has had another solid game, 2-point night. For Nyes, this is a 6-game point streak for him, as he now goes to 3 goals and 10 points during this stretch. Gets at the center of the left wing side and just slides it down the ice to put the Leafs up 5-2. 5 goals and just 19 shots. But as we've said, probably 7 or 8 outstanding chances that they had that did not result, and that included John Tavares hitting the goalpost in the opening period.
So you take advantage of the schedule, and the Mammoth are playing 3 and 4 nights, and so take advantage of that, and the Maple Leafs have. And the empty net goal will make it 5-2 with under 3 minutes to play in the third period. They'll get it again, and it is Domi trying to shovel it along for Lawton. They'll ring it off the sideboards. It caromed out in front, and the Mammoth have gotten rid of it and sent it down into the Leaf end. No icing. Swept around the boards. It'll find Domi on the left wing boards, and he just elevates it high into the zone, almost securing it, and then Lawton does, but he can't make a pass. It'll get it back to the point, and it is fed by Philip Myers back in the net. Domi centering, and it was intercepted and now brought out at center ice by Stenlund, who will play it down into the Toronto end, and that is going to be an icing call, I believe, with 2:12 left to play in the third period. So the Maple Leafs appear to be headed to their 8th victory of the season. The other day, before they won their last game, they were in last place.
Yeah. But you know,
last place in the conference, in the division. And now all of a sudden you rattle off a couple of wins, and
well, first 3-game winning streak of the year.
Yep. This will be their 17th point, but most of it has been built at home. 7 wins, 2 losses, and an overtime loss. The schedule will not be kind to them in the next little while as it's played through center ice. The Leafs again getting it. Robertson turning. Robertson launches it into the far corner. Tavares will provide some forechecking as it's played up ahead. Jack McBain gets it out. Minute 36 to play in the game. Stick explodes on the Utah player who was about to shoot it into the Toronto zone. Now wired by Mermis back into the Utah end. Leafs are getting the final stages of a change completed. Machelli out there with Dakota Joshua and Nick Roy. And the Mammoth taking their time. Now a long lead pass, springing. Good, they're in on goal. He hit the goal. No, he scores. It came right back out. Leafs caught napping there on a almost 110-foot stretch pass. And Gunther in behind is able to fire it past Stolarz and make it a 5-3 hockey game, and that goals against average is not going to come down.
Yeah, this is something Craig Berube is not going to be thrilled with. a 5-2 lead late. Everybody gets caught watching the puck. And Gunther takes off behind everyone and walks in on Anthony Stolarz and puts it through the pads of the Leaf goaltender.
Minute 7 to go. I don't know if Utah Mammoth will pull goaltender Vanacek again, but they have it back in their own end. And he edges out. Looks like he might be going to the bench. And the centering pass doesn't work. No, he's going to stay in the goal. Less than a minute to go in the third. McCabe playing it into the corner. Now he goes to the bench. And the Leafs have rung it around the boards and out and down the ice. And are going to be charged with an icing with 44.5 seconds to go in the period. Gunther from Schmidt and Marino is the scoring play. Nyes from Nylander and McCabe was the empty net.
Now, these are the things that really Leafs needed to clean up early in the year. Opportunities off the rush. I thought tonight they were pretty good up until this glaring one here at the end.
Draw one by the Leafs, who play it along the boards. Cleared high and out and down the ice again.
Saying it went off a stick.
Icing. Oh, they're saying it went off a stick. Yes, no icing. Sergachev back in his own end, under 30 seconds to play. They'll get it up on the wing and deflect it into the Toronto zone, forcing Oliver Ekman-Larsson back. He pumps it around the wall. The Leafs get it to the line and out, as Schmaltz couldn't keep it in. And now 12 seconds left in the game. Stolarz looking to send it down for a goal and then a shot. He has to come back after it was blocked. He didn't get enough on it, and he's got a big grin on his face, though. And his teammates are... He usually handles the puck pretty well. I'm surprised he didn't get enough air underneath that one to get it out.
Yeah, Oliver Ekman-Larsson started back behind the net to pick it up, and then he saw what his goaltender was going to do, and he went, uh-oh. And he pulled up. Everybody else did, but he couldn't get it high enough. I think he had the sights perfectly set, but couldn't get it airborne enough. If you're going to try it, why not with a 2-goal lead and 7 seconds left, right?
Yep. Draw one by the Mammoth and a point shot. Oh, that took Stolarz off the right shoulder.
That's the hockey god saying, don't try that again.
Try that again, that's right. Well, they don't have to try it again. They have won this one, and time now for the 3 stars, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care.
Well, I did toy with Anthony Stolarz as the 3rd star because after the 2nd goal, shut down Utah until the Leafs were able to build the lead. But instead, I'm going to go Matthew Nyes, star number 3. He gets the empty netter. 2-point night for Nyes. John Tavares, goal number 501, and it was a game winner until the late goal. But Tavares, I thought, was a beast on the puck. And Matthias Michelli, first game against his former club. Great setup on the goal by Austin Matthews to get the Leafs going in the 2nd period, and then that gave the Leafs their first lead of the game, and then great goal in the 3rd period as well, and that turned out to be the winner, did it not?
Yes, it did.
4th goal of the game.
Yep.
So that's it. So Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, Matthias Michelli, the 3 stars.
And we will be with you on Saturday night. We hope that you will join us. The Bruins from Boston will be in town. 7 o'clock start. We'll ship it off to Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert. The Leafs a winner, 5-3. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
These are the games where you have to produce your best.
The stakes are higher this fall on Sirius XM FC.
This is the place where dreams come true.
The drama of the MLS playoffs.
The impossible may still be possible.
The excitement of the English Premier League.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And the prestige of the UEFA Champions League.
The class of champions.
Experience it all in one place. Sirius XM